Hi, I'm Gregoire and I'm an engineer here at Electrical Audio. In this video, we're gonna learn about sound levels and how to prevent hearing loss. D'abord, regardons à quoi ressemble une oreille. Alright, let's take a look at that ear. So, sound comes in through the ear canal here, and it travels to the eardrum. The eardrum is basically like a microphone. It captures the sound and vibrates. Behind the eardrum, you've got three little bones here, the ossicles, and they actually carry a mechanic vibration into the sensory organ, which is the cochlea here. The cochlea has two different kind of cells. The outer hair cells, which are the preamplifier, basically, and then the inner hair cells, which kind of are the converters. They convert the vibration into electrical impulses. And then those electrical impulses are going to be carried through the auditory nerve toward the brain. When you get exposed to loud sounds, most of the time it's going to be your outer hair cells that are damaged. So that's why you hear softer than before. Sometimes it's temporary, sometimes it's forever. And when you lose those outer hair cells, they do not regenerate. Same with the inner hair cells. So you are born with so many hair cells, and when they die, it's gone forever. So it's very important to know that to protect your ears. And now we're gonna talk about how do we measure sound levels. You've probably heard of decibels, but there are many kinds of decibels. For example, dB-SPL, dB-As, and dB-Cs. And the dB scale is not very intuitive. It is not linear, it is logarithmic. So if you have a guitar amplifier that delivers 90 dB SPL, and you double that setup with a second amplifier, instead of having 180 dB SPL, you're only gonna get 93 dB SPL. So it's very important to use a device to measure the sound levels, like a sound level meter or an application on your phone. Mais quels sont les niveaux sonores dangereux pour les oreilles? Well, you have three factors you need to consider. The first one is time of exposure. The second one is distance from the sound source. And the third one is shielding from the sound source or wearing ear protections. The general consensus is that an exposure of 85 dBAs over 8 hours of time can damage your hearing. But you can also cause equivalent damage by exposing yourself. I should not say exposing yourself. But you can do as much damage in 15 minutes if you're exposed to 100 dBAs. Now let's head over into the studio and look at the impact of distance. Okay, so now we are in Studio B, and we've got Steve on guitar, and we've got an amplifier in the back. And I'm gonna make some measurements using a free app you can all download, on your phone. First, I'm gonna do a measurement at the amplifier, kind of like if a microphone was put there. Then I'm gonna do a measurement 3 feet away approximately, where Steve will be playing guitar. And then I'm gonna double that, and it's gonna be probably 6 feet away. And we're gonna compare the sound levels.
This is an original composition called E minor and F.
And now we're gonna do the same thing, but with a snare drum and a cymbal. right, so a few takeaways from those measurements. The first one will be that when you double the distance from the sound source, you should see a drop of approximately
6 decibels
on your sound level meter. Another thing to note is the time of exposure. You know, when you drop the level by 3 dB, you can double your time of exposure and you're still going to be safe without damaging your ears. And the last thing with drums, you have to be careful with the peak levels. So you can measure 100 dB on average, but if the peak levels are much, much higher, that can do damage a lot more than you think. For example, that snare drum we just heard was at 136 dBA, dB SPL peaks. So yeah, wear those earplugs whenever you can. And now we're gonna go back to the control room. All right, so we just talked about time of exposure and distance from the sound source, but the most effective way you can protect your ears is actually to wear earplugs. So I have a different kind of earplugs around here. It goes from earmuffs that can protect your ears up to 30 dBs. Noise cancelling headphones, those are best for low frequency sound source like airplanes or machine noise. That also can cancel up to 30 dBs. And foam earplugs that can reduce around 10 to 25 depending how you fit them in your ears. And custom earplugs, those have the 25 dB filter, but it ranges from 9 dBs to 25 dB. The problem with foam earplugs is that depending how you roll them and put them into your ears, they can protect a lot or not at all. So I recommend a lot those custom earplugs because you know that you will have the same reduction of sound every time you put them on. And as an example, with a 25 dB filter, if you are exposed to 110 dB, without earplugs, you can damage your hearing within a minute. But if you wear the 25 dB earplugs, you can stay 8 hours without damaging your hearing. Remember, if you notice a change in your hearing, it could be already too late. So prevention is the best course of action.